Kofi, a 24-year-old man from a poor background, moved to Accra, Ghana after high school, hoping to build a better life. Struggling to survive, he often slept in shops, kiosks, or even outside in the cold rain. Every night, he cried himself to sleep, barely able to afford a meal. Determined to change his circumstances, he started selling coconuts on the streets of Accra. One day, while hawking, Kofi ran into an old high school friend. He barely recognized him, but his friend, now wealthy and driving a Mercedes-Benz C300, immediately recognized Kofi. After buying some coconuts, his friend handed him some money and asked about his situation. Desperate, Kofi begged for a job, even as a maid. His friend laughed, but told him to take his number. Kofi didn't own a phone. The friend instructed him to find one and call him the next day. Determined, Kofi borrowed a phone and called. He was invited to his friend's luxurious apartment in East Legon Hills. Seeing the fleet of cars in the garage, Kofi was in awe. His friend assured him that he would help him become rich. Overjoyed, Kofi quit selling coconuts and moved into the apartment, where he was fed and cared for. After some time, his friend revealed the source of his wealth. They needed to travel to Benin to meet his Baba the Voodoo priest. Panic set in, but his friend reassured him. "Most of what we do doesn't involve human blood," he said. In desperate hope, Kofi agreed. Upon arrival in Benin, they spent a week at the voodoo priest's place, where several other young men were also seeking riches. Baba the voodoo priest performed a ritual, stripping Kofi naked and instructing him to hold a leaf between his lips. A hen was slaughtered, its blood poured on his head. He was forced to drink the blood, chew its raw flesh, and even swallow its feathers. Baba the voodoo priest then placed a mystical chain around his neck and warned him never to remove it. The price of his wealth was revealed. Every Wednesday at midnight, he must find an insane woman and sleep with her. If he ever slept with the same woman twice, a family member would die. Though hesitant, Kofi's friend assured him he would help. And so, for a year, Kofi performed the ritual, ensuring each time was with a different mad woman. The wealth poured in, money, luxury cars, and endless women. But the price was grim. His friend's soul was tied to a dog in their house. If the dog died, so would he. One December, the dog fell ill and was rushed to the vet. Kofi was terrified, but relieved when it survived. Yet, during a party, thieves broke in, stealing nothing but shooting the dog dead. The next morning, Kofi's friend was found lifeless in his bed. Panicked, Kofi and the others rushed him to the hospital, but he was declared dead. Fear consumed him. His friend was gone, and he had no idea who his family was. He called Baba the voodoo priest, wanting out. The voodoo priest refused, warning that quitting would cost him his own life. The following Wednesday, Kofi could not perform the ritual. The next morning, his mother called, sobbing. His little sister had been hit by a car and died. He rushed home for her burial. Shortly after, his father was killed in another car accident. Terrified, Kofi tried to find a loophole. He paid a psychiatric nurse to arrange insane women for him to sleep with, continuing this for 6 months. But peace was fleeting. One night, he arrived at the hospital to find out the nurse had mysteriously fallen ill and died. His world crumbled further. Out of the 7 friends who went to Benin, 6 died in a gruesome accident. The remaining 2 vanished. Kofi had lost his entire nuclear family, his parents and both siblings. Guilt crushed him. Seeking redemption, he turned to pastors, only to discover they were tied to the same Baba the voodoo priest. Knowing his days were numbered, Kofi publicly confessed his sins and begged for prayers. "Please, let the world know. All that glitters is not gold. I gave my life to Christ last Sunday, hoping my soul finds peace when I die." And with that, his fate remains unknown. Beware, for some riches come at a price too great to bear. That brings us to the end of our story. Please like, share, and follow for more. Thank you.